Welcome back, guys. In this video we're gonna talk about the powerful technique letting go that comes from this great book Letting Go by Dr. David Hawkins. Hands down, this is one of the most transformational book I have ever read that has deeply transformed my life. And if you never read it, I strongly invite you to go and read it. But inside this book there is a little technique. In fact, he describes it in just a few words, just a few paragraphs, and that is the letting go technique. And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about. The power of this technique, the letting go technique, allows you to cleanse, purge the negative emotion, limiting belief that you have in your subconscious mind that are creating, perpetuating, triggering you into the same level of mind, the same level of experience, and polluting your reality. So we're gonna look at what is that letting go technique, why it works, how to apply it, and how you can truly use that in your life to cleanse, reprogram, and transform your life and your level of consciousness. It is one of the simplest techniques, but it's one of the most transformative techniques. If you apply it again and again and again in your life, you will see tremendous transformation in your life. So let's go, let's have a look at this. All right, so one of the first questions is, why do we need to let go of? Okay, and this is a simple question, but it's a very important question, because what's happening is that subconsciously, through the ages, through the decades, ever since the moment you were born, you accumulate a lot of negative emotion. How? Because when you're not processing emotions in a healthy manner and you allow them to be released, to be let go of, so to speak, what we end up doing is that we suppress or repress them out of our conscious awareness, so we don't have to deal with it and we cannot just put it under the rug. This is how most of us learn how to cope with our negative emotion. Instead of looking at it, observing it, feeling it, and simply allowing it to go by, we fight it, we resist it, we don't like it, we label it, we create story about it, and we shove it. We get distracted, we drink, we just do all these kind of things. And the result of that is that subconsciously in our neurology, we end up putting down all those emotions. Now, the emotions that are suppressed or repressed never disappeared. They may be away from our conscious mind, from our conscious awareness, but they're still there, they're still affecting us. So when something around us happens that triggers us in our external world, we respond automatically, like with anger, with anxiety, with sadness, with shame. So you walk in the street, you see a woman that you find attractive, and she looks at you, and maybe she smile or laugh or something, and all of a sudden you have that shame or that anger that comes in, and all that judgment that comes in. Is she making fun of me? What's wrong with her? Kind of thing. And that story that comes along. Maybe you see a certain amount in your bank account, and boom, all of a sudden there's all that scarcity that comes to the surface, and you start to feel anxious, and you start to worry about where's the money gonna come from, and blah, blah, blah. And the story goes on as well. But you have to realize that it's the emotion that stir up then all those thoughts, the stories that are linked to those emotions. And so what we end up doing, if we're not processing the emotion, is that we end up perpetuating those situations. So letting go is fundamental, because who you are right now, your level of consciousness, and everything that you hold within your subconscious mind is what is creating your life. So if you want a different level of reality, and if you want to stop getting at that level, you're gonna need to transform all those negative emotions that are coming to the surface and transmute them into something greater, something higher, so that when life happens around you, you no longer react in your way, but you choose how you respond. And what this is gonna do is that not only you're no longer gonna attract certain situations, certain people, certain events in your life, but you're going to start vibrating at a higher vibration, at a higher frequency. So you're going to start attracting different things. And as Dr. Hawkins says in his book, Power and Force, you'll have less force, you'll be less forceful, less manipulative, less trying to make things happen. And instead, you would go into your true power and truly let things flow into your life. So letting go is a crucial way to develop your awareness, to develop your state of consciousness, and to grow. But let's look at this, okay? Let's look at what is happening in this process of letting go, why it is so important, and how it works. So if this big circle here represents consciousness, okay? This big circle here represents consciousness. I don't know if I spelled it right, but it doesn't matter. Between your consciousness, meaning everything that you're aware of, right? Inside of this, there is your conscious mind, subconscious mind, there's your body, there's everything. Now, what's happening is that the moment you start to feel a negative emotion that arises in your consciousness, right? It's here. Here is a negative emotion, whatever it might be, that anger, that fear, that sadness, that shame, whatever it may be. And I'm going to label it here, negative emotion. Of course, calling it negative doesn't do it justice because it is just that, an emotion, another form of experience, but we label it this way so you understand what I'm talking about. So as this emotion arises in your consciousness and you start to become aware of it, you now have an opportunity. So what you've been doing in your life right now, like most people probably, is that you've been pushing down those emotions in the subconscious. Right? You've been suppressing it, repressing it, distracting yourself consciously, going on Netflix, smoking, drinking, doing whatever, so that you don't have to deal with this, because we don't like to deal with this, because it's painful, it's hurtful, it's uncomfortable, and we don't know what to do with it. Okay? But there's a better way. There's a healthier way to have this emotion and to have it basically dissolve into something greater. Transmute into something greater. So how does this work? When you become aware in your consciousness, in your awareness of that negative emotion, something triggers you, this is when it's time to apply the letting go technique that I'm about to tell you exactly like it comes from the book. All you need to do to be able to dissolve that emotion, to be able to let go of all that accumulation, all that memory, whatever it's tied up and linked to, and all the belief and thought associated, all you have to do is allow yourself to feel it. That is all you need to do. The letting go process is simply allowing yourself to close your eyes if you have to and simply notice where in your body you feel that anger, that sadness, that sensation. Focus more on the sensation in your body than the label of the emotion itself. Maybe you feel tingling there. Maybe you feel a weight, density, something in your heart, whatever you may be feeling. Put your awareness there. Breathe in and out into that and simply allow it to be. Don't think, don't label, don't rationalize, don't justify, don't think about why and how and who and when and what created it. No, that is your mind. See, you gotta step out of the mind, and you just gotta be consciousness, observing, allowing that emotion to be felt with your presence, with your awareness, your loving, kind awareness, with acceptance. Because what you observe with acceptance will simply dissolve. And what you resist persists. So every time you resist that emotion and you want to consciously, with your ego, with your mind, to let it go, I have to let it go, what you're really doing is that you're not allowing, and this is one of the biggest traps why people don't know how to use that letting go technique, is because when you have that intention of I have to let it go, you usually plant it more firmly into the ground, because what you resist persists. So this is not about trying to force it or to let it go. This is simply to feel it, to allow it to be felt, to be accepted, and to run its course. And it will on its own subside. Now, here's what happens usually. Between a couple of minutes, you start to feel a sense of release, of lightness, of neutrality in your body, right? Sometimes it may take longer. Sometimes it comes in waves, sometimes it's a roller coaster. But once you commit to this letting go technique, and every time you feel it and it arises, and you can take some time to feel those emotions, to allow it to be there, and to even continue with your day, but simply allowing it to be there, to be processed. it will dissolve, and you will feel that sense of lightness, that sense of relief, that sense of, in your body something lighter will take its place. And that's when you know that you have transmuted that energy. And the reason why this letting go technique is so powerful is because there is no complex technique, there is no complex questioning, there is no step-by-step formula. It is so simple that we think something is missing, and the mind will try to analyze it, to keep you from feeling it, to get distorted, to get stuck and distracted in thoughts. Don't let it. Stay present with the emotion. Allow yourself to feel it, even if it's scary, even if it's painful, even if it's sad. Feel it, accept it lovingly, and it will dissolve. And I want to add a few side notes to this, because once you start going through this process of letting go and you start to release and purge your subconscious mind will naturally bring up emotions that you're ready to let go of to your conscious awareness. So emotions and thoughts and memory that you may have thought for a long time will start to come in your awareness, triggering certain emotions, simply because subconsciously you're ready to start to let go of that, of everything that's no longer needed, no longer required in your life. So you undergo a cleansing process that will completely change your vibration, your frequency. Now, another side note is not to go digging every single day. What do I need to let go? What do I need to let go? Give me something to let go. I need to let go of something. Because that is also freaking crazy, okay? If you keep on digging shit to let go of, you will endlessly find shit to let go and to deal with. So it's better to deal with things that are spontaneously coming, because in life, being the greatest mirror, will give you plenty of opportunities. But don't go every day digging for more stuff to let go, because that won't bring you peace or health, and it's not wholesome, okay? So this is how to use the letting go technique as described by David Hawkins in his amazing book, Letting Go. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know if the letting go technique is clear for you. As always, if you like this type of video, guys, like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Be well.